And welcome everyone to the series of A Skeleton Talking. I am your host, Mr. Skeleton, here to narrate a story that is also written by Mr. Skeleton. That's me. The name of the story is Journey Beyond the Shadows. Hope you enjoy this. Wait, let me change my voice real quick.
Better, let's dive into this. And don't you dare complain that you can't see me, you don't need to. You want to hear the story or not? That's more like it. Let's start. In the eerie midnight gloom of a small town in the heart of America, where whispered myths and chilling legends danced on the wind, a lone figure trudged wearily along a deserted street. Dev, a hardworking 19-year-old with a heart of gold, was on his way back home from a long shift at the factory, his steps echoing in the empty silence. As he rounded a corner, his breath hitched at the sight of a looming shadow in the distance. The bus. The infamous bus that only roamed the nocturnal realm, where tales of vanishings and forgotten souls lingered in its wake. Dev hesitated, his heart pounding in his chest. The rumors flooded his mind, the bus that led to oblivion, the cursed ride that stole away those who dared step aboard. Ignoring the warning bells sounding in his head, he approached, drawn by a magnetic force he couldn't resist. "Should I?" he mumbled, torn between curiosity and fear. A distant hum filled the air, sending shivers down his spine. Moans drifted from the darkness, shrouding the bus like a sinister cloak. With a mix of trepidation and determination, Dev stepped closer, the pull of the unknown dragging him into the heart of the mystery. As Dev edged closer to the ominous bus, a cold sweat beaded on his forehead, his heart pounding a frenzied rhythm against his ribs. Every step felt heavier, as if an invisible force was trying to hold him back. But his curiosity, fueled by the whispers of the town's eerie legends, propelled him forward. As he reached the threshold of the bus, a gust of wind swept through the deserted street, carrying with it the faint scent of decay and despair. Dev's resolve wavered for a moment, his hand hesitating over the rusty door handle. But then, with a deep breath, he steeled himself and pushed it open. The interior of the bus was shrouded in darkness, broken only by the feeble glow of flickering overhead lights. The air was thick with a heavy silence that seemed to suffocate Dev's senses. As his eyes adjusted to the dim light, he made out the vague shapes of empty seats lining the aisle, their cracked leather upholstery bearing witness to years of neglect. A chill ran down Dev's spine as he took a tentative step forward, the floorboards creaking beneath his weight. The sense of foreboding grew with each passing moment, but he pressed on, driven by an insatiable need to uncover the truth behind the town's most chilling mystery. Suddenly, a voice echoed through the darkness, sending a jolt of fear coursing through Dev's veins. "Welcome, traveler." Dev spun around, his heart racing as he searched for the source of the voice. But there was no one there, only the empty expanse of the bus engulfed in shadow. "Who's there?" he called out, his voice trembling with a mixture of fear and curiosity. There was a low chuckle, the sound sending a shiver down Dev's spine. "You seek answers, do you not?" the voice replied, its tone dripping with amusement. Dev swallowed hard, his mouth suddenly dry. "Yes," he admitted, his voice barely above a whisper. "I want to know what this bus is, where it goes, what it wants." There was a moment of silence, broken only by the sound of Dev's ragged breaths echoing through the empty space. "The answers you seek lie beyond the veil of perception," the voice finally spoke again, its words cryptic and enigmatic. "But be warned, traveler, for once you step aboard this vessel, there is no turning back." Dev's mind raced with uncertainty, torn between the allure of discovery and the fear of the unknown. But in the end, his curiosity won out, driving him forward despite the overwhelming sense of dread that threatened to consume him. With a shaky breath, he took another step forward, crossing the threshold into the unknown. The moment his foot touched the floor of the bus, a surge of energy pulsed through him, sending a shockwave of sensation coursing through every fiber of his being. The darkness seemed to swirl around him, enveloping him in its suffocating embrace as the bus lurched into motion. Dev stumbled backwards, his heart pounding in his chest as he struggled to maintain his balance. The world outside blurred into a haze of indistinct shapes and shadows, leaving him disoriented and dizzy. But amid the chaos, a single thought burned bright in Dev's mind: he was finally getting the answers he'd been searching for, no matter the cost. As the bus hurtled through the darkness, Dev's sense of time and space became distorted, lost in the swirling maelstrom of uncertainty. Minutes stretched into hours, hours into days, until he could no longer distinguish between reality and illusion. And then, just as suddenly as it had begun, the journey came to an abrupt halt. The bus screeched to a halt, the sound echoing through the silence like a deafening thunderclap. Dev stumbled out into the unknown, his eyes blinking against the harsh glare of the unfamiliar landscape that stretched out before him. He was no longer in the small town he called home, but in a place beyond the reaches of mortal comprehension. Before him stood a towering figure cloaked in shadow, its features obscured by darkness. It spoke in a voice that echoed with the weight of ages, filling Dev with a sense of awe and reverence. "You have journeyed far, traveler," the figure intoned, its words resonating with a profound wisdom that transcended mortal understanding. "But your journey is not yet complete." Dev's heart raced with anticipation as he waited for the figure to reveal its purpose, his mind buzzing with 1,000 questions. "What do you want from me?" he finally managed to ask, his voice barely above a whisper. The figure regarded him with a gaze that seemed to pierce straight through his soul, its eyes burning with an otherworldly intensity. "We seek only one thing," it replied, its voice echoing with a haunting solemnity: "the truth." With those words, the figure dissolved into the darkness, leaving Dev alone with his thoughts and the knowledge that his journey was far from over. But as he stood there, bathed in the eerie glow of the unknown, Dev felt a sense of peace wash over him. For he knew that no matter what lay ahead, he would face it with courage and determination, armed with the knowledge that some mysteries are meant to be unraveled, no matter the cost.